For me, Cristiano will always be the greatest player. For me, Jose Mourinho will always be the greatest. Why? These people have been tried and tested in different situations.
Different
You can't
leagues,
tell me
different
that
teams.
you can't tell me that Ferguson is the great. Yet he only experienced one system that was meant to support him as a support structure to make him succeed in everything that he did.
MasterMind Podcast. In real life, I'm not happy 247.
But if you know me and I don't know you, to you, I am a celebrity.
There is always a reason to love. People that say they love unconditionally for no reason, it's a big lie.
MasterMind Podcast.
A show where we give you nothing but nuggets. Welcome again to your favorite show, the MasterMind Podcast. And guys, I'm happy to be hosting one of the most celebrated actor, filmmaker.
Am I the most celebrated? I'm humbled.
I said one of the most.
Oh, I'm amongst.
Yes, you are amongst one of the most celebrated actors, filmmakers, producers. My personal producer, actually. For those who didn't know, Zolile is one of my personal producers, and I'm privileged to have him on the show today. And today, Zolile, you are not behind the scenes behind the crew. You are in front.
I'm humbled and honored at the same time to be a guest on MasterMind Podcast.
Yeah, thank you so much. And today we are going to be talking about a very interesting topic. A topic that they want to hear about, or they also want to talk about. And this is about the power of association. And when we are talking about the power of association, like even in your industry, as a filmmaker, as a producer, and in general, social life in general, the power of association, why it's important.
Wow,
yeah.
It's an interesting topic, and I look forward to share the little knowledge that I have on the topic as well, but using myself as an example. Because like you're saying, it's a topic really broader, but it is very, very important. Let's say in anyone's career, be it a lawyer, be it a teacher, be it a doctor, in any profession, powerful association is very important.
Okay, so let's get straight into it. Why is it important?
Well, it's important in a way. It's said and believed that you attract what you are.
Okay.
Most people that are associated to you, one or the other, you have the same resemblance with those people. And also that people are attracted to you according to what you give them. So you're like an energy, you emit energy, like a magnet that attracts metal to you. So the type of magnet, the metal that you are attracted to the energy that you are emitting, they like or they see themselves like you. Kuchikoro takakura chiudzwa kunzi ukatamba nedofo uri dofo, like birds of the same feathers flock together. In it, I feel like why power of association is important. You can only be as good as those that are around you. Okay. Mdara maraini ukaona wasvika pa extent yekuti wamudhara. Move. What am I saying? Ukaona wambinga kumaraini kwenyu.
Yeah.
Move. Kwete turi kutiza kukumbirwa kana turi kutiza shamwari dzako. No, but growth is needed. Ukaona wambinga kumaraini kwenyu, you have hit the ceiling.
Okay, so you are saying, in other words, you are saying you cannot grow more than what is around you.
You can grow more than what is around you if you identify kuti you are the ndingati ndiwe wa the epitome kana ndiwa the highest point,
The Godfather.
Ndiwa chigodfather kana ndiwa the highest point on that mountain. Kune kusina anywhere else to go, unenge wa reach a ceiling. Sandukuti, by the time you reach a ceiling and you're comfortable around the ceiling, if you look around, if you look beyond the horizon, you see the baby. But just because you are surrounded in small fishes, you feel like you're a bigger shark. Until you start looking beyond the horizon. So by the time you're doing that, you keep growing. Life is like a graph. A graph grows gradually. Ukakwira bhari kutanga, ukamira ipapo ukaona kuti ndasvika, vanhu vese vakuti mudhara makapenga. And up on the next level, whereby you get to a point whereby you unonyatsoona kuti panapa ndakupenga, I have to work hard. By so doing, if you look back, you'd have moved like a graph gradually. Okay. You'd have developed further. I'll give you an example. When I started acting, I did that out of passion, just because I loved the camera, I loved being in front of a camera. But it got to a point whereby I needed to be professional in my act. It got into a point whereby I needed to learn. I needed to go back to school and learn the craft so that I understand the business side of the craft. There are some people who are very good at what they do, but they just miss the aspect of understanding the business side of what they are doing. What makes them miss that aspect is the people around them. Okay. So if you are around people who don't see growth, if you're around people who look at you as a god, you are never going to grow. That's why you see with even football players. I never played football, but I wish I would have been a very good goalkeeper. And you can't be on the same camp for a long time. You want new challenges. You want growth. You want to experience different league. You can't keep on scoring 40 goals in the same league and expect to be called a god. Wow. That brings me to another argument whereby I know the Cristiano, and Messi debate, the Ferguson and the Mourinho's. For me, Cristiano will always be the greatest player. For me, Jose Mourinho will always be the greatest. Why? These people have been tried and tested in different situations. You can't tell me that Ferguson is the great. Yet he only experienced one system that was meant to support him as a support structure to make him succeed in everything that he did. Okay. He never moved to any system, but Manchester created a system around him that made him the greatest coach of all time, according to their history. Okay. But look at Jose Mourinho. He's a coach whereby he was never content. I've dominated Portugal. I need something new. He goes to Italy. He dominates Italy. He looks for new challenges. He comes to England. He dominates England. He's fired. He goes to Spain. He dominates Spain. It's an argument for another day. Would I fire you? But I'm saying everywhere you would go, you would leave a mark. That's what happens when you're someone who always wants to grow gradually. Remember, we're talking about the power of association now. So coming back to our topic of the power of association, always surround yourself with people who make you want to grow every day. If you surround yourself with people who don't know what they want to achieve in life, you're bound to be one of them. Wow. If you surround yourself with blind people, you being the only one who sees, you're never going to go anywhere. But it will come time whereby fatigue hits you, you want someone to hold your hand. No one can hold your hand. But I would rather play with people that I know that they are way ahead of me when it comes to film knowledge in Zimbabwe. So that I'm always learning every day on them. By the time I get to where they are, even they would have left that camp, to somewhere else. So if I look back, I'm not taking anything from but I'm saying growth is needed in everyone's career. You've been on this camp for too long. You've exhausted this camp and look for new challenges. Develop. Look, okay, fine. After doing this, what's the next thing?
So you as a filmmaker, Zoli, tell us what have your associates done for you, your associations? What is it that you say, because of my association with this institute or my association with this group of people, I managed to move from this stage to that stage?
Okay, I can't I can't blow my own horn and brag that I'm the best or I'm amongst the elite filmmakers in Zimbabwe. I'm still learning. I'm still a student of the game. But to answer your question, what has the power of association done to me? Remember, I was just a boy coming from Epworth who had a vision, who had a dream of wanting to be an actor. I had done small little projects that got me nowhere. Until I did a project with a film school, Ziftesa, Makomborero.
Okay, all right.
From Makomborero, as small as that project was,
That was your first
my first association with professionals.
Okay.
So the Ziftesa Film School, yakandikanda in a pool where around the Marian Kunongas, people who understood the business side of TV, people who understood the business side of film, people who understood the business side of performing arts. With artists who are very good, very talented, but they just lack understanding of the business side of arts. That's why it's called showbiz. It's show business. So when I was thrown in film school, they saw the talent that was in me. I was surrounded with the professional directors, professional producers, professional sound designs, professional gaffers, professional makeup artists. So I'm there on set thinking, actor, actor. I'm saying this guy knows exactly what he's supposed to be doing. The director is just calling, makeup is coming. I'm like, okay. So from there, I took it upon myself. I also want to know what these guys know. Let me tell you this that I always say whenever I'm given an opportunity to say. My first job in the media space was radio. Trained in radio with a Christian broadcasting in the FIBA. I had my own slot with the Faith Nyarambis. I'll be producing radio. They'll give me my own slot with the community radio that was there. And I was in love with the media. But I felt limited. And I told myself, let me try TV. So when I switched from radio to TV, then I was exposed to this whole beast of understanding what is a set. There's something different by just taking a camera, playing record, and me going in front of a camera, and going on a film set. Those are two different people. So the difference now between drama and being on a professional film set is the professionalism side of it, is the business side of what you're doing.
Okay.
Drama, one person can be doing everything. DA sound, DA chi, DA makeup. On a professional film set, each and everyone knows what they're supposed to be doing at what time, because time is money. So I surrounded myself with people that made me look inferior, people that made me look confused. Guess what that did to me? I wanted to learn so that I don't feel out of place. That's how I started learning. That's how I was then discovered to do a certain show on TV. That's how I was then casted to do the debut project that everyone else got to know me, Wenera.
Yeah.
Do you get it? But first, I had to take myself away from the pool of people who didn't know what they were doing, who just thought they knew, but they didn't know. And expose myself to people who actually knew. That made me realize that, and I have to learn.
Okay, but now the question that I will have for you, Zoli, is, do we associate with people so that we get in a hidden agenda, because if I associate with this guy, and just a benefit is, or we associate with people with a free conscience, with a free mind. Zoli mfeso wangu, Zoli so like this. Is it something that we should actually make it a condition? Could I have to be with Zoli because I'm going to benefit this from Zoli?
Okay, I believe you're a Christian. I'll answer it in this way. Do you understand the relationship between Elisha and Elijah?
Yeah, I do.
One wanted to learn from the master. So he did everything he could do to learn from the master. There was no hidden agenda. The agenda was, I want to know what you know. That's the relationship of power of association. The Bible says he became...
should be in black and white.
It should be clear. The intention should be just clear. And the Bible says he became 7 times better because of the passion of learning that he had. And now, there is now association whereby in a motive. That association in a motive, it won't work as we would. Pachirungu are not my bootlickers, fake friends. You are only there because you want to benefit something else.
That you are not even saying.
So, there's someone who wants to benefit something and they go. And there's someone who actually wants to learn. But the commitment tells you. Remember example yandakupa. The film school kwairi kuna mazogo ina would walk from 4th kunosvika kuna mazogo ndoswera the whole day ndinamboshuta vanhu vari paset vachiita zvavari kuita. But that did not discourage me because I wanted to learn what Leonard Nete knew, what Precious, my producer, then knew. So I had to put in the work. Yasiyana ne relationship yekuti ndine mbinga yangu yandiri kuteera because ndoda kuti indipe something. I didn't want these guys to give me something. I wanted to learn from them. Relationship whereby you want to be given, the donor syndrome relationship. That's why we have a lot of people who are living lives, fake lives, because I know that my handouts. I'm sitting here right now, bragging with the 15 years experience that I have, that no one can take away from me. I've never ever had handouts from anyone. I worked for all the knowledge that I know right now. And I can brag about that. But kana uri munhu ajaira my handouts, ajaira munhu zvinhu zvekupiwa, chikatorwa ichocho from you, that person suffers. Mbinga yako ikafa. There's nothing wrong playing with people mbinga dzenyu. Why can't you have a different mentality to whereby you want to learn? How is my mbinga making it? How is this Joe Njangu making it? Learn from Joe. So that by the time Joe is not in the picture, you have already become a mini Joe. In the film circles, I keep telling people, the reason why I always bring Joe Njangu's name is one of the most celebrated filmmakers of our time.
He is.
Why? He's consistent, professional, and he delivers. He talks less, he just does the work. But with a lot of people now that because they own cameras, my HD cameras, they call themselves filmmakers. Those are the same people that are thrown in the same bracket, professionals. That's why you see our film industries in the state, Yairi, right now. Because it's an insult to take a reputable filmmaker and make them stand on the same podium with someone who just has a camera, who knows what camera is on. Movati vesema filmmakers.
Who has a phone?
Come on. Come on. That's an insult. Because the years of experience that Joe has, you can't compare them with someone who just understands an iPhone and who's been recording skits that go viral, that clock 100 million views in 2 hours, just because they trained and you think they're better.
Okay.
They are not.
I have a question here, a bit, digress from what we are talking about. So, are you saying kuti vanhu vanoita maskits havasi kuita film? They are not part of the film industry?
Let me tell you. Let me answer you this way. All those people are in the media space. All those people are creatives, but there's something that differentiates them. It's growth and shelf life. Understand? What differentiates someone who just does skits is the packaging of your content. You're an investor. Can you pay $1 million for a 10-minute skit? And someone who's done a documentary for 10 minutes, who can you give $1 million?
The one who has done the documentary.
Why?
Because more effort, more
research, even gathering of facts, to compile those 10 minutes. As much as these two people are doing the same thing, we are not going to camera.
Zoli, answer my question. Are they in the same industry? Is it?
They are in the same industry, but they are classified differently.
Okay.
Yes, those are good. Bora return in League 1, in Division 1, in Division 2, kunema amateur, but vese vari kutamba bora. Ukatokanda chikweshe vese vanhu vechi vebhora. Wanzwisa? Kama Billy anototamba bhora. Akatongofanana na Mbappe na Haaland. Vakafanana.
But do you agree?
But, no, wait, I started there. Vakafanana nditi. But vakatosiyana. Leagues and classes zvinosiyana, but mese munotamba bhora. On the point ndikutaura. Zvese izvo zvinotoonekwa nema-results, zvinoonekwa also nema-statistics, zvinoonekwa also ne-paychecks. But vese vanhu vechi vebhora. Handisi kuti vanhu ava zvavanoita hazvivape mari. People are actually earning a living. Varitoritira mhuri. And I appreciate what they do. You get it? But my only problem is when they are classified the same. Do you know right now, I had a conversation with my fellow film producer. I got a call from a client. I had to Rabasa tikavapa quotation, and they went vakadzoka pane vafana vatodira vanotiitira skit $60. So this is what I want to do. Skit munoita $60. Yakawanda nditi $60. Munoita muri vangani? Muri 4. Pa $60 saka mabhadharana mari.
60 by 4 my 15 here.
Ngatitore ngatichivaisa pa $20. Ngatiti vachaja $80 vabhadhara 20 kuita skit. Who's going to produce to edit the script? Mchampa mari. Ashuta skit racho mchampa mari. Akaita makeup paningi mchampa mari. So all this one hazvina basa katongoisa phone ti record. So this client is opting to go for them than Inini, because Inini I'm giving them the budget that I feel good for you to get the results that you want. This is what I want. And that's why you have seen Guti in Zimbabwe. It's now a trend. Every advert is a skit. Go and check my commercials. Is a skit. Tajamba, if you go back 4 or 5 years back, every advert was a jingle. Why? Because with this guy who's been in the industry for 20 years, he understands the value of a jingle. That's why you see models whereby ndokupa $100, ndokuisa pa billboard that I will use for the next 20 years. You do rombo wakagara pa bridge, just on top of you pane billboard, a certain brand that they are putting. Do you know how much it's charged for a billboard to be erected? Momo Street. Do you know how much monthly subscription that company pays for that billboard to be up there? But you've been given $20 once off payment. So when we tell these artists and when we tell these actors, when you tell these influencers, you sign a contract whereby you are going to use my face for how long? 2 months. This is what I want for 2 months. After 2 months, you are not going to use my own. But because I don't billboard, I know about $100, which is a lot of money. But they are going to use your face for next decade.
Uripo.
So am I wrong now to say, Tese Trukutamba Bora, but my leagues should be classified?
Yeah, I get your point.
And now, the danger is, when these guys charge $60 to do a job, they go do a shitty job. When the client does not approve the quality of the job they did, so we are all going to be tainted with the same brush just because of this guy's work. But remember, problem I see $60 is the client. Because the client looked for an easy escape route and did it. Then the job was done. By the time they come back to me, in a quotation by 2. Can I get double quotation, then charge by 2. You're now coming back to compensate the shitty job.
But agenda deliver, because I'm sure when my corporates, what they want at the end of the day is achieving
the goal, achieving the goals themselves. Okay. 0 by 2.
With corporates, big corporates are totally listed by my stock exchange. Those guys are not my advertising agents. Those guys don't play. Do you know, I learned to understand, I learned to one of the biggest budgets is not on a company, marino and marketing. Why? Because they want to sell the brand, how they want people to see the brand. So marketing a budget reselling the brand well. That's why you see professionalism when we started, it attracts the right crowd to you. In the same country whereby someone is being given $60 with advert, you have 2 years vachiriza. Someone is being paid $6,000 to just do a 1-minute commercial. That's just going to be used that first quarter of the year.
Wow.
I'll give you an example. To talk about companies that understands the power of branding. Do you know how much it takes for an artist to create themselves as a brand? The investment that I've put in myself to become this Tsotsi that everyone else celebrates. That's what I will be charging. Because I understand also the value that I will carry to your brand. So when you're a corporate, you're coming to me, you also understand the value that I'm going to put. But the problem now is, my corporates, I know about $60. They think that they're doing me a favor by wanting me to do their advert. No, I'm exchanging services. I'm going to sell your image the way that you can't reach out to your clients.
Yeah.
So you're not doing me a favor. We're exchanging services. So when you're exchanging services and we sign a contract whereby you're going to pay me $2,000, I should give you value for your money. Ita breakdown I charge $60 with a skit. Yeah, not a skit. How are they going to divide that money when it comes to labor and paying each other? Do I know I'm going to take my drinks? I'm going to say I'm very graft. But you're shooting yourself on the foot. Because you're not going to deliver according to the standard that client wants. Because we shoot in 4K, you don't own a 4K camera. All you own is that phone that you think can do the job, which it can if it's in good hands. For you to hire the professional people to help you achieve the value that the client wants, you see it's more than $60. But I say to the client.
I think that also take us back to the issue of Nyaya Association. Yeah.
Yes.
What makes my associations failure? Like, they are associated to, let's say, as you are saying, business, a certain brand want to associate with a certain company, individual, and provide a certain service. And chichinozoita kuti ningirikini association iyo izvinhu zvibva zvaramba kuti vanhu vatadze
kuchakakosha Mr. Bizura is the start. When you start, are your goals clear? Is the vision clear? Do you know where you guys want to go? Do you know how you're going to get to where you want to go? So when the two parts come, they both know what their objective is. They both know how they are going to achieve their objective. They both know how they're going to get to their objective. Even as an artist, I know what my client wants. And I know how to push my client's product to where he wants it. And I know how it's going to take me to reach there.
Yeah, Saka, I think it's an issue of kuva priorities akafanana akasiyana ari clear.
Kana ndoda kuzotamba neni mndara ndoda taura chokwadi mndara I want to be mentored. I want to sit under you. I want to learn what you know. Usango ndangofamba neni ufamba neni uchita sei? Ndoba ndopinda newo maoffice anopisa muzoshare kwa phone nze vanhu vanakanzi Zolile vanhu vako kanonga mafoni muno. But if I know kuti mpana wewe uda kuita protege yangu when I'm going for important interviews like this, you're sitting there, you have a notebook, you're taking notes. After this I'll ask you what did you learn? How do you conduct interviews? From what we did, what did you learn? Because I now know kuti pane zvese zvandikuita you're learning, so I should be questioning you answer. Yeah, you're mentor and mentee. Don't just hang around people's places with an objective. And let your objectives be clear.
So guys, Anzina Zolile, let your objectives be clear in your associations. I mean, now decided that you want so you want to achieve something, but uruita kunge uruda kuachieve something. So things should just be clear. And we are talking to Zolile today, and we are talking about the power of association. And guys, I'm sure you can agree with me that we can take us somewhere wherever we are in this life. And Zolile, I really want to thank you for your time. I know we work together, but this is not the place that you. That
I
you
usually
always,
sit.
Yeah,
And
you are always at the back.
Yeah.
And I really want to thank you for your time. I really want to thank you for everything that you have done. And guys, thank you so much. And that is it for today. Goodbye.